Are you wondering how much it would cost to hire a private investigator to follow someone around, dig up dirt on someone, or even to do a bug sweep of your office or your house? Now, I've been doing private investigations and finding investigators to help my clients with cases all over the country since 2004. In this video, we're going to talk about how much you might expect to pay a private investigator for his services. Hello, welcome to Private Investigator 360. My name is Paul Bepler, and this channel is all about private investigators, what they do, how they do it, and maybe even how you can do your own investigation. So here's the most often asked question that we get about our private investigation business. How much does a private investigator cost? Although this is a difficult question to answer without more information about your specific situation, I'm going to do my best to explain some general price ranges in our business. Now, keep in mind that much of what someone might find in a private investigation can often be uncovered by doing your own private investigation. This video is going to focus more on the factors to consider once you've already decided that you want or need to hire a private investigator. Throughout the video, I'm going to provide links to other videos where you can find some of the factors that more specifically affect the numbers inside of those ranges for different services. So, let's start with surveillance. Manned surveillance is when an investigator goes out and watches and/or follows a person to see what they're doing, when they're doing it, and/or who they're doing it with. This could be a service an investigator might do for a private person, such as a wife who thinks that her husband's cheating, or a parent that's concerned about a child custody matter. It could also be a service for a business, such as investigating whether an employee is exaggerating a workers' comp claim, or even verifying that a non-compete agreement isn't being violated. Surveillance services can range from $50 an hour all the way up to $250 an hour, depending on factors such as how many hours of surveillance are being conducted, how in demand the PI is, and the area of the country where the surveillance is being conducted. For more information regarding what factors determine whether it's going to be $50 or $250, check out our videos dealing more specifically with surveillance. Background investigation and research investigations. Background investigation and research can include services such as pre-employment checks, due diligence investigations, locates, which are sometimes referred to as skip traces, and asset research. Now, pre-employment checks and tenant checks are considered consumer reports. What they are is just surface-level investigations that are governed by the FCRA, also known as the Fair Credit Reporting Act. They're mostly done by accessing database reports such as Intellius and verifying the information within them. These kind of reports usually cost between $75 and $300. They also require the signature of the person who's being looked into. Due diligence investigations are much more in-depth. They start with database reports and drill down from there. They can also include research of the actual court records and police records relating to any person. Due diligence investigations can also include having the investigator go out and pull someone's trash to see what's in there, interviewing friends, coworkers, neighbors, and associates. These investigations often include sending an investigator into the field and can range anywhere from $300 all the way up to $10,000, depending on how much legwork is involved. Now, locates are often referred to as skip traces. Again, there are many factors that go into what will drive the cost of this type of investigation. One factor is how much digging, research, and field work is going to be needed. Some people can be found with a few internet searches, and others might require some pretext phone calls and field interviews. Locates, or skip traces, can range from $100 all the way up to $1,000. The other kind of background investigation and research that people often hire a PI for is asset research. Now, asset research can include research of how much money a person has invested, how much their home is worth, how many homes they have, what kinds of vehicles they own, and even where a person does their banking. Now, there's a significant amount of regulation on this type of investigation, and the playing field is constantly changing. These kinds of investigations can range from $500, again, all the way up to $10,000. Then there are what I call technical investigations. These can include bug sweeps, cell phone forensics, computer forensics, even polygraph examinations. Bug sweeps can range from $500 all the way up to $10,000, depending on the legitimacy of the investigator and the size of the area to be swept. Cell phone and computer forensics can range from $1,000 all the way up to $10,000, again, depending on the legitimacy of the technician and the amount of data to be examined. Polygraph examinations range from $300 to $1,000, depending on the reason or the purpose of the polygraph, as well as where the polygraph is going to take place, either on site or at the polygrapher's offices. GPS tracking could probably fall under any of the above categories. Private investigators charge for GPS tracking in a variety of different ways. Some charge by the day, some charge by the week, bi-weekly, and even monthly. Ranges that I've heard of go from $100 a day to $200 a day. If you're going to talk about weekly, I've heard of $500 a week up to $1,000 a week. As far as monthly charges, I've heard as low as $1,000 and as high as $3,000 a month. If you have any questions that are more specific, I'd love to hear from you in the questions and comments section below. If this is your first time here, though, I'd love to have you subscribe, because here at Private Investigator 360, we're here to answer all your questions about private investigators, what they do, how they do it, and maybe even how you can do it yourself. I hope to see you again on the next video, which will be coming out on Monday.